Hello and welcome to MDG Media's coverage of the Round 2 Front 9 FPO lead card at the 2024 European Disc Golf Festival. This is located in the Tallinn Song Festival grounds, very special venue. I'm Andrew Gum, and I'm very happy and excited to be alongside one of my favorite commentators of all time, Elias Luukkonen.
Thank you, Andrew. It's my pleasure to be here commenting on some high-quality FPO coverage. You know, we had the European Open last week, and a lot of the best American players are still here. Very strong field, one of the strongest we have seen this year in Europe. And the course, I feel like the course is quite scoreable, as we saw in the first round. We saw some hot scores, specifically from Heidi Laine going 9 under. What an incredible round.
Yeah, amazing player, sponsored by Clash Discs from Finland. Shot 9 down, incredible stuff, shredded up the back 9. We also have Eveliina Salonen, another Finnish player.
Yeah, great driving abilities. You know, arguably the best driver of the field. Obviously depends a lot on the putting. And Kaidi Allsalu, Estonian player. She's gonna have the advantage of having a huge home crowd. There were a lot of people watching this round too. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and another Estonian on the card, Keiti Tätte, sponsored by Latitude 64. There you see her representing that Estonian flag. Very proud nation. And yeah, we get it started off on this beautiful hole 1. For the FPO, it's a par 5, 275 meters, launching the disc off of the top of this stadium into an amphitheater. You got the OB all along the right side and left side. You just want to get it into play and just keep working your way up towards the basket. It's quite a tricky green with a strong sloping hillside down there at the end, so you got to be careful about the rollaways. Otherwise, it's just kind of have fun, you know, watch the flight of the disc into this beautiful place.
Yeah, for sure. A lot about the stability and height control on the drive here.
That's what they're playing for, that really beautiful trophy. See the players. The players come up through the stadium. It's treated like a really professional type atmosphere in sport here. They've gone all out, and it must feel really great.
Tea time, 11 a.m. First of a tee from Finland. First round score, 9 shots on the par. Sponsored by Clash Discs, Heidi, Laine.
And Heidi, of course, I feel like she has a bit of an advantage on a lot of the players in the field on this hole, having a very strong backhand, a lot of distance on her throw. And interesting to see, she's going with a pretty low shot here, even slight turn out of the hand. That's a good shot for distance and great stability there. Just the perfect shot.
Yeah, can't do any better on this one, really.
From Finland. First round score, 7 shots on the par. Sponsored by Innova, Eveliina Salonen.
And as we mentioned, another certified crusher here, Eveliina Salonen. Her and Heidi, 2 of the furthest throwers in the FPO field worldwide.
And Eveliina there, a bit more of a hyzer release. I like the line, you know, playing the left shaping shot all the way and perfectly on the fairway, not hitting any sort of a path, which is kind of dangerous on this hole.
From Estonia. First round score, 5 shots on the par. Sponsored by Prodigy, Kaidi, Allsalu.
Kaidi can also really bomb. She's improved on her distance a ton in the off-season, and we saw her crushing on the disc in Heinola and all throughout the season. This one, unfortunately, is hyzering out a little bit early. If it can dig, she'll be fine, but it skips on that road path, like you said, is the big danger, right?
From Estonia. First round score, 4 shots on the par. Sponsored by Latitude 64, Keiti, Tätte.
Yeah, so many players hitting that path, both FPO and MPO. You know, the paths, they are kind of in that spot where you would really like to land, where a lot of these hyzer shots are ending up. Ideally, you would love to get over that path that we see on the screen. Keiti with a pretty similar looking shot, hopefully avoiding that same path. and just barely avoiding the big skip. That's a good result, just landing short of the path. And pretty big difference there between two almost identical shots.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky to get that one to dig. Eveliina is sponsored by Innova Champion Discs and Kaidi Prodigy here. We didn't mention that in the intro, but just so you know. So here we're seeing the drop zone for Kaidi. After going OB, you head to that drop zone, and it's pretty long ways to the pin from there.
Yeah, definitely no saving a 4. Saving a 5 very much in play, though. Just throwing a safe shot out there to the left. Pretty much the same play here. You don't need to bite off a huge ton of distance. If you can just get, 80, 90 meters up that hill, you're gonna have a very manageable approach. It's more about that angle, how close are you comfortable to playing with that right side OB.
Pretty good second shot there from Eveliina. What does it feel like as a player to be sort of like escorted through this stadium, and taken through, and then have your name read and like with the cool, entrance with the music and everything?
It's incredible. There's not such an experience in disc golf anywhere else, and the Estonians, they have really got this, big stage figured out. It's so cool to see, and a lot of spectators too. The whole area is closed for public, and you can only get in with a ticket, and still multiple thousand people watching.
Yeah, it's amazing. Even on these, mornings, we're having close to 2,000 paid spectators every day. Tomorrow for the final round, they're estimating close to 5,000. So they really love their disc golf here in Estonia, and they've really risen the bar with the professionalism and the entertainment value that they're providing here.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about entertainment value, great for the home crowd to see these Estonian players throwing some good approaches here, both well in the circle. It's a bit of a nervy putt on this first hole, as you have that quite severe slope. Of course, that's a safe angle to putt from, and nice to see those players landing a little bit short of the basket. I feel like that's really the best play here, to be a little bit below the basket compared to where Eveliina is. Much scarier of an angle.
There you see some of that crowd. I saw a lot of Estonian flags, a lot of cool jerseys and shirts. Nice to see everybody out there supporting. Heidi's putt's a little bit low left, chains out, off the nubs. She'll have to settle for a par, but she took a double bogey on this one yesterday, and she was still able to shoot 9 down. So 2 strokes improvement off the bat here. She can't be too disappointed.
Yeah, and good settle. Also good settle for Keiti, missing from around 6, and Eveliina, unfortunately, from just 5 meters. I bet it's a little bit nervy with the huge crowd and this sloped green on hole 1.
Yeah, she just laughs it off. Kaidi puts it in the heart. Nice work there. But yeah, we've seen some struggles on the green from Eveliina over time. Of course, she's improved a lot. We'll see what kind of day she has out there. Keiti's got her special turbo flip over the top tap in going on. I've never seen her miss one, although they look really interesting.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever saw Keiti doing this, I was a little bit confused, but I very much agree. I have never seen her miss one of those, and we're moving on to a much shorter hole this time, only 72 meters. It's pretty much a straight shot. You can do standstill putter, some players clubbing up to a mid-range. It's all about just hitting this gap straight, and even though the basket is a little bit up left, you really don't need much more than a straight shot. A straight shot will land just 4 or 5 meters away, even if you play to the right side.
Yeah, just hit the gap, try to take your birdie, move on. This is the easiest hole on the course for the FPO, 72 meters, so nothing too special about this one. It's a nice little shady spot. Yeah, not the biggest gap, but not the tightest either, really. In disc golf, you could just try to keep it clean, scoot your way up there.
And Heidi going for a standstill. I love the choice, and great speed control there. Just fading out before that last tree.
Yeah, pretty much perfect. Drops it right by the basket. This is early left. The only real big danger of taking a number on this one is getting a hard kick right for the OB. It's pretty hard to go all the way left OB unless you get a really bad kick. or some crazy skip or something.
Yeah, I agree, especially on such a short hole. The players aren't throwing that hard on this hole, so the kicks are going to be quite soft. And Kaidi there, fading out a little bit early, but a good kick, and she's going to be in the circle. Same thing here, just maybe one gap early. Do you think they're playing through that early gap, or are they trying to hit it straight?
I'm not 100% sure, but the result was great there. She's kissed it off the koozie, and she's 5 meters away. But yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't really know. I guess it plays a fair bit different from the MPO. There's more of a kind of a straight gap and a right gap. This one lines up more with that wide right gap, so I suspect they're trying to keep it clean all the way down there, but you know, if you want to get that fade at the end towards the basket, maybe it's good to kind of break inside a little earlier.
Yeah, it seems like it's working really well for these players. Everybody but Eveliina inside the circle here. And just a small putt left here for the par. You know, as you said, it's really a hole you would like to pick up, and no surprises there to see 3 birdies on the lead card.
Yeah, this is pretty cool that you see some spectators up on top of this little, like, there's like a cafe place, I think, that serves ice cream and coffee and stuff, and you can walk up on the roof and watch the players on the green. Nice little spectating tip. If you're in the area, go up there for a good viewpoint. And yeah, moving on. Hole 3, par 3, 92 meters. Really tight tunnel shot, low ceiling, high bush. Really only one way to go after this one, and that's straight down the pipe. You know, you got to make sure the height is right, get some speed and spin on it, try to get it up there. These 2 big guardian trees on the right side are the only thing once you've hit in the gap. And yeah, there's the basket right there in the open. Tough birdie though, 3.18. I think forehand maybe seems to be the most high percentage way to get through and up there, but we've seen a lot of nice backhands from the FPO field for sure.
Yeah, I think what the forehand does best is it really takes out the risk of that left side OB, whether with the backhand, you know, if you fade out, you're possibly challenging the OB on the left, but Heidi not doing any of that. That's a beautiful straight shot. Looks like she went with a mid-range, so I love the disc choice there, you know, challenging the ceiling. Same thing for Kaidi here. Bit more turn, and she has found the inside line on the right side of those trees. Pretty nice.
Excellent shot there. Working around those trees on the right side, getting it to come back on time. She'll have a birdie look from short range. This is kind of a similar play, but it gets a really rough kick all the way to the OB on the left. Super unfortunate from Keiti there. Hit the gap clean, was drifting right, was probably going to get that flex back at the end, but unfortunately kicked OB.
Yeah, that's what happens. Again, a tiny difference between Kaidi and Keiti there. And Eveliina here, too high on the gap, getting the early kick left. She really doesn't have a chance for the par here unless for a big throw-in. Just trying to lay up under the basket. And solid shot there, but really not a start you would like. You know, it's another very birdieable hole, especially for a player with Eveliina's driving abilities.
Yeah, and you played at the European Championships here last year. They backed this one up a little bit. Do you like the change?
I think it's a great change. As Heidi unfortunately missing, you know, a lot of the changes on this course, personally I really love them, you know, making the course a little bit longer, a little bit less of the same shot. I think there's more variety here. Couple of pretty tough misses on the green here. Looks like the group is just slightly nervous for these short circle 1-putts right now.
But yeah, big shout out to Seppo Payu for designing a really epic course here on a special property and then tweaking it to improve it here. You know, over time, that's what the greats do, right? Make the little adjustments after a big competition, get the data and feedback, and then make it even better.
For sure, and it's very impressive how, you know, Seppo as the designer, but also the organizers have been able to utilize the space. There's very limited space in this park, but using every corner, you know, it's a great course for such a great property.
Yeah, 100% agree. Here we're getting a look at the scoreboard.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe.
And we are back on hole 4. It's a par 3. Same for the MPO and FPO. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, hole 4. Beautiful tunnel shot. It's really a straight shot with just the slightest of left finishes at the end. Another hole that kind of challenges the height. You need to get over this initial berm just about 20 meters in front of the tee pad, but still keep it low enough that it doesn't fade out early or challenge the relatively high ceiling. There's a lot of space up there. But yeah, all about line control and distance control. If you go too far to the right, you're gonna find yourself in that OB. So really the safe play is to fade out a little bit early.
This one's drifting right for Heidi. A little bit too much speed on it. Oh, but gets some tree love. Kicks it back to the circle's edge. Pretty lucky there.
For sure, I think that would have found the right side OB on the long. So at least one stroke swing there. But potentially still looking for a birdie. And Kaidi learning from Heidi's shot and much more left. I like the play, giving yourself just a putt. Not necessarily parking the hole, but she's going to be on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, those trees are spaced out enough that you can sneak in if you break left a little bit earlier than the hole's maybe designed for. But sometimes you might catch one of those trees. Look at that. Beautiful shot from Keiti Tätte. Straight to the bullseye ring. That's how you do it.
Yeah, beautiful shot there, and I feel like you could really see it out of the hand. Really firm release of the disc. And Eveliina a bit early, but once again, there's a lot of space between those trees. Still gonna be within putting distance.
Yeah, really nice to see Keiti bounce back after that really unfortunate kick on hole 3. She's gonna have herself a tap-in birdie here. Eveliina gives that one a pretty good run, but it's just off left a little bit.
And Heidi, I like her putt for the outside circle. She's got good spin and good angle on the putter. Get some good glide without really, flying that far past. And that's a good run again.
Yeah, Heidi just missing low, and then Kaidi just a little bit high and wide. But pretty good efforts there from C2. Eveliina cleans up the par. Keiti coming up for an absolute tap-in birdie here.
Well played. You can hear the crowd. They're following the card on the outer edge of the fences. That's also what I feel like this event is doing really well. They're managing the crowd. They have all different spaces for the crowd on every hole. So the crowd is never going to be on the fairway. For example, we're moving on to this hole number 5. The crowd is going to stay outside of the fences where they're not distracting the players at all. Tell me about hole 5.
Hole 5 is really unique. It's got that sound sculpture, Chromatico, a really cool monument there that you can go inside, and has multiple echo chambers where you can play with your voice and the acoustics. As far as shots go, yeah, you got to get over that thing. That's kind of the first things first. You got to just launch your disc over that and then manage the OB, which kind of tightens up right around the structure. And you got to, try to get it somewhere into play there. If you can turn a little bit right to left at the end, great. But you just want to be in bounds mostly, and then the upshot has quite a few guardian trees. Only 186 meters for the FPO, so quite attackable. There's also this really thick tree on the right where Keiti's heading straight to. You don't want to be up in there. That's got some seriously low-hanging branches and a bunch of crab apples that'll be all up in your business.
I like the disc choice of throwing something more understable, like Keiti did there, and Heidi as well. This is a better line fading out just before the tree. But is she gonna be OB right? Unfortunate. I really thought that she would kick out of that fence as the line is just about 1 meter away.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky, just barely OB there. Didn't get enough kick off the fence to get back in bounds. Kaidi here. She's bogey free, one down, gaining strokes back on Heidi, trying to battle tough. This is low, but it skips off the top of that structure. You couldn't do that if you tried. That is a really unique shot. Very cool result. But yeah, what do you think about that?
Wow, that's a little bit lucky, of course, but I think if she had missed it on the high side, the result would have been the same. But if she had squared it up, that would have been a horrible, being just behind the structure. And Eveliina there also challenging the right side. Looks like all of the players are really worried about left side OB, rather flipping it to the right than even challenging the OB on the left.
Yeah, if that had been just a little bit lower for Kaidi, not only would she be in a really bad position, but that disc would probably never be the same. That is solid concrete. But really cool result, skipping off the top of that.
And Eveliina, this is early left. Pretty rough looking shot. I think she just missed her line very bad to the left. I see what she was trying. Of course, with that patent pending, it's a difficult shot to get it all the way to the right, as you have to kind of throw towards your back.
Yeah, I don't know if she was trying for too much. I guess she was trying to attack the green from where she was. This Kaidi, unfortunately, is too high. Clips a branch, falls down into the OB. Couple mistakes in a row here.
And clearly trying to keep the spirit up with those, clicking with the caddy, after even a bad shot. It's pretty nice to see. I feel like that can be good for the mental, especially since we're not even halfway through the tournament. And that was a great approach from Keiti.
Sure was. She's right there in C1. Now here's Heidi after the OB. She got a lot of distance, so still a pretty good chance to save that par. She's going to need a good upshot. That's coming in just outside the circle. Not too shabby.
Really, it's all about picking your line on this approach. There are just a couple of trees on every line that you can take that you have to miss. Just need to commit to throwing between a couple of them, and that's a well-committed shot there from Kaidi. A little bit long. Gonna be a tricky putt there from 9 meters. Maybe not physically tricky, but mentally tricky after kicking OB with that second shot.
Yeah, this one averaging 4.33 today, making it the 5th hardest. There were 4 birdies, but also quite a few big numbers too, so it can get out of hand if you find the OB. You wanted to keep it clean here.
And talking about clean, that's a clean stroke there from Kaidi. Good commitment there. And she's gonna stay even par for the round. Of course, not the ideal start, but also nobody really on the lead card absolutely lighting it up right now.
Oh, and Keiti had a pretty good chance to save the par there, but chains out left side on the short putt. So yeah, some struggles here on the lead card. Everybody's had some blemish, at least. You see some red, but oh, and a double bogey there for Eveliina. I forgot about that. So she's gonna move, to 3 over par for the round. Hasn't birdied yet. She needs to turn things around here. Maybe she can do it on hole 6. It's a par 4, 167 meters. Big Mando there. What else do you have to do to score on this one?
Yeah, I feel like it's mostly about the drive here. If you can have a perfect drive, the approach is much more simple. The drive, you just need to keep it low. With the distance driver, try to get as far straight as possible, or the other play is actually to get straight and as far left as possible, depending if you want to go for more of a left to right shot through the left gap or a right to left shot through the right gap. And on the approach, it's a pretty big island, but you have to stick it. If you don't, you're going to a drop zone. Yeah, all about keeping that driver low off the tee and speed control on the approach.
Yeah, the island is more generous on the short and right side, but it comes in pretty quick on the behind there. It's only about 5 meters behind the basket, and it's quite short on the left as well. So you might want to aim a little bit off, like to the right and short, maybe. Would you say?
Yeah, I think the right side is definitely the play here. Of course, depending which direction you're approaching the island from.
Yeah, and I guess if you're on point with your approach, you don't really need to worry about it. Just stick it as close to the basket as you can. But this one can be a little bit tricky there. You got those bleachers built up behind, so the crowds kind of tend to hang around here. There's also beverages served between this hole and the next. So, yeah, a lot of people hanging out. Also, quite tight, yeah. 4.54 average for the FPO. Third most difficult on the course. It's quite a bit uphill on the drive, right? You have to kind of crest that sort of hillside there that slopes down left to right.
Yeah, definitely another advantage to the longer throwers like Heidi and Eveliina. You know, from here where Kaidi is, she's not going for the island. I think that's a smart play from there, just trying to lay up. Actually, quite a short layup. I think she would really like to be at least 10 meters closer to the OB line. It's still going to be a tricky approach. And Keiti, this is going towards the drop zone, so that's quite close where you would have your play from the drop zone if you miss the island. It's a great line from there. Not really many trees in the way. If she was far enough, I'm not quite sure from that angle if she was.
Heidi's second. Attacking the green with a berry, but it's out of bounds by a little less than a meter. Close, but she'll have to head to that drop zone. Great forehand spike hyzer into the green from Eveliina Salonen. Perfectly executed shot. Pretty tricky one. She made it look easy, though. Nice work.
Yeah, I love her forehand. She has a big advantage over a lot of the players in the FPO field, having that strong, consistent forehand. And Kaidi there, even with the shorter pitch up, she's able to park it for the par, which, as you said, the average well over par. Par is going to be a great score here.
Yeah, par is fantastic. Eveliina with the chance for just the third birdie of the day from the field, and she gets it. We also saw him from Henna Blomros and Sofia Donuke.
Our card not running into too much trouble, though Heidi getting a second bogey in a row here. Can easily happen if you miss this island.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, spectators out in full force. Yeah, as I was saying, the spectators out in full force, but they're spread out on a lot of different cards. The favorites to win the event, didn't perform very well on the first day, and so they're all on different cards out there. Big galleries, we hear them, cheering all across the property. But close to 2,000 people on site already this early morning. Great conditions for disco. Hole 7 is a really nice one, downhill, par 3, 109 meters. Classic disc golf hole. You just got to pipe the gap. Commit to it, otherwise you can take some big numbers. Double Mando, OB everywhere lurking, but it's a fun one to play for sure.
Yeah, this is an absolute score separator. Any tree kick most likely will end up in an OB stroke, and sometimes the scramble after the OB can be really tough. With all of those trees. Eveliina here, that's a great shot. Of course you would love to have a look for the birdie on any par 3, but this hole averaging almost up to 4 strokes. And you can see Keiti there, very late on the release. Big kick from the tree. Didn't quite see if she ended up OB, but I'd say 80 to 90% of shots looking like that usually do end up OB.
Yeah, I believe she missed the Mando. That one gets a nice tree kick and puts her right outside the circle for a birdie look. As you said, averaging almost a whole stroke over par, 3.97. Hardest hole on the course for the FPO field.
Really no surprises there, as Heidi on the right side of the wall, just barely missing the fairway to the right. Now it's pretty much an instant bogey from there. I believe she made the Mando, but just went right OB after that.
Yeah, precisely. She hit the gap clean, but just with all that power, it drifted right. You know, she had a mid-range berry, I believe. That's the same one that was just OB, I think. But yeah, it just drifted off to the right on her. And OB, here's Keiti from the drop zone. Hits an early tree. Still some work left now to get up and down. Throwing 4. Clips another tree. Gets her up to the green. Circle 2.
Nice kick there. That could have easily ended up with another OB stroke. But yeah, the drop zone after the Mandem is really not that easy. You still have 75 meters to go, and that tight tunnel not really getting any wider at any point of the fairway.
Solid jump putt approach to save the bogey for Heidi. Right there, bullseye. Here's Keiti for a double bogey. Unable to get it in. That's going to be unfortunate triple bogey for Keiti. Struggling on this hole.
I guess this would be the hole where you would take a triple bogey if on some hole. But it's pretty tough, especially as everybody else on the card not really struggling that hard. Though Heidi here, after shooting the hot round, she's gonna take the 3rd consecutive bogey on the card. Really opening up the door for the rest of the field. You know, her first round, -9, was so incredible that I feel like the field kind of knew that if she would shoot another round like that, it would be pretty much game over, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen in this round too.
Yeah, +2 at the moment. I mean, she didn't really slay the front 9. She kind of got hot on the back yesterday as well, but yeah, definitely not cruising at this point. Got to shout out Kaira Teku for getting the only birdie on the day back on hole 7. She got it to 7 meters, hit the putt. She's out there doing work, so watch out. There are some players that are shooting hot out there. Hole 8 is a really nice par 3. Tell us about it.
Yeah, hole 8, much simpler of a hole. It almost feels like a break after the last hole being very difficult. There's really nothing in the way on this one. You might think the last branches before the basket are in the way, but in fact, if you hit the branches at all on the right side of the basket, you're always bouncing safe. The only way you can find the OB here is either by just leaving it short, which Eveliina fortunately does not. That's a great shot. Or if you hit the branches on the left side of the basket very high, they might fall you back OB. But other than that, it's really just a basic hyzer.
Yeah, well said. It's a big, beautiful willow tree that guards the green. A lot of players, it sounds like they're just kind of trying to crash in high and deep into those branches and let it drop you down somewhere by the pin. They are pretty low hanging, so we'll see. That looks like Heidi's going a little wider and coming in on it. That's really nice.
Exactly what you're talking about, just getting deep into the branch. She was going to be a bit more long there, but the branch just barely slowing the disc down, staying just 6 meters from the basket. And Kaidi there, no surprises going with the hyzer. Nice looking line, bit more inside. And is she just short? That's a tough break and really the mistake that you can't do on this hole.
Yeah, I just left it a tad bit short and it hit those ad walls. Never crossed in up there, so she has to take it all the way back here. Really solid bounce back approach there, though, to put it right there within 4.5 meters.
Yeah, good composure. It can be difficult on such a simple hole when you make that error. And slight error there from Kaidi. Still staying in good spirits, though. It's great to see. And, you know, I don't know personally, but I suppose that she has found out that her game works the best when she's not getting too mad at herself, which I think that's a great way to think about it. I feel like a lot of the players on the MPO side could use some of that same thinking process.
Oh yeah, she's always calm and happy and smiling out there, even when it's not going her way. Of course, she would have wanted that birdie, but you know, par's not too bad, and she's still right in the mix here. She's only a few strokes back, and yeah, but she's every time I've seen her, she's always been smiling and really positive force for the card. So I think, you know, that's a great way to play, as you said.
moving on to the finishing hole of the front 9. Hole number 9 is gonna be a low ceiling par 4. There's a really early tree on the left front side of the tee pad that can kind of get into your head. You know, it's not in the way for the preferred line here, which is just a flat or a slight hyzer flip through the gap. When I throw a fast disc, at least a fairway driver, many players throwing even a distance driver, just try to keep it low under the branches, and if you have a great drive, the approach is going to be pretty simple. It's all about the first shot here.
Yeah, third easiest on the course for the FPO. Once you hit this first gap, which is pretty much straight off of the tee, then the green is really wide open for the FPO layout. There's not too much to it. You just kind of, you know, if you can hit the gap with any kind of speed and get some distance, then it should be a pretty routine approach.
And Eveliina was able to do that very well. Heidi also, look at that late flip. Beautiful flight of the disc.
She just smashes frisbees. Like it's so fun to watch how far they go. I mean, she's got really good form and a lot of power. Just, yeah, really, really good thrower.
Yeah, and even more impressive with for a player with a slightly smaller frame. You know, Heidi having a wingspan of, I believe, just around 160 centimeters. So not one of the lankiest players we have on tour. And looks like everybody's gonna be on the fairway. Keiti there a little bit on the right, but it's still gonna be very much okay for the birdie.
Keiti's approach coming in nicely, right on point. Ends up about 5 meters, almost hit the base. She's been playing really well, just a couple bad breaks and then the big mistake there on 7, but I like what we're seeing from Keiti lately. She's in pretty good form and playing well.
Yeah, her backhand is looking pretty crisp. I like the form, you know, looking quite explosive too, especially with those drives. And that's a solid approach from Kaidi. Let's see, Eveliina here, also a great looking line. We have a great chance to have a potential star frame here to end the front 9.
That'd be wonderful. That's an excellent touch there from Eveliina. Yeah, it hasn't been the best day so far for this lead card, but it'd be a great way to finish the front 9. Oh, Heidi almost drops it in there. Looked like that just about hit the cage. She'll have a little bit of work left to do. She's first out from about 6. Oh, and chains out left side. It looked good from here, but does not collect in the basket.
Looks like that has been her miss today. Hole 1, hole 3, and now on hole 9, all of those left side splash outs. I think Heidi is probably thinking about that as Eveliina, also with a similar miss. Yeah, forget about that star frame as Kaidi. That's a good catch. 2 birdies and 2 pars on the card. Not a bad result.
Yeah, solid finish for the Estonians there, getting the birdie. Short putt misses for the Finns. But that's going to do it for the front 9. Some ups and downs, gutters and strikes from our card. Look at what's happening out there, though. We got some players shooting hot. Jenny Karpinen, 4 down. Missy Gannon, 4 down. Kairi Teku, 5. Anniken Stein, 4. So some people out there shredding. We got some moves being made here on moving day. It's going to be a pretty exciting back 9.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the field is evening out. Lead card is not shooting that great. The rest of the cards shooting a little bit better. Setting up for a tight finish to the tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching and hope to see all of you on the back 9 of this round 2.
Yeah, think about joining that MDG family on Patreon. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. And we'll see you on the back 9.